Right now, the Prodigy takes on a young man making his ROH television debut. That's Adam Page.
There we go. Kid's really proving something to me here, kid.
Spears him right in the center. No! 2, 3. Now, wait a minute now. What is this? What is Brutal Bob doing, Nigel?
There's no need for this.
Oh, what a slug. Look out, it's Eddie Edwards! Eddie Edwards down here, giving it to both Brutal Bob and the Prodigy.
There you go, Eddie.
You're only out here because you couldn't beat me. You can't beat any former champion. Hell, you can't even beat Brutal Bob. Next week on TV, why don't you take Brutal Bob one-on-one?
Wait a second.
Did I just hear that correctly?
You get Bob out of his nursing home, feed him all of his pills, and I'll gladly beat his ass, Die Hard style.
This is Ring of Honor.
From the Dew Burns Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, welcome to Ring of Honor Wrestling. I'm Kevin Kelly alongside former ROH World Champion Nigel McGuinness. And Nigel, on the eve of the biggest match in Davey Richards' career, he and Kyle O'Reilly take on Kevin Steen and Jimmy Jacobs tonight in our TV main event.
But before we got there, we just saw the events of last week that led to this foul old wanker, Brutal Bob Evans, getting to wrestle Eddie Edwards here tonight.
Things are about to change.
Well, there he is.
Like they should have a long time ago. Eddie Edwards, this old man is gonna hand you the beat of your life.
For the first time, we will see Brutal Bob Evans step into Ring of Honor competition. He has not been a stranger to action, though, especially on the outside. But he's competed for near 18 years. I think that robe may have been worn back in the 40s, but nonetheless, Brutal Bob is here and he's set to go. Let's go to Bobby Cruz.
This match is set for one fall. In the ring, being accompanied by the Prodigy, Mike Bennett, and the First Lady of ROH, Maria Kanellis, wrestling out of South Boston, Massachusetts. Weighing 245 pounds, Brutal Bob Evans.
Nigel, he's not going to wrestle with that foul cigar in his mouth, is he?
Well, I hope not. It looks like Apollo Creed wore that in Rocky 2.
Well, Eddie Edwards is going to look to make quick work of this one because Edwards is trying to stay in the title picture. He's been challenging and defeating ex-world champions. He also defeated Bennett last time they fought. So as we saw last week, Bennett challenged him saying he couldn't even beat Brutal Bob. Now Evans has to make good on that.
And there's a history between them as well. More on that in a moment.
His opponent, wrestling out of Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 211 pounds, Die Hard, Eddie Edwards.
So it's Brutal Bob Evans against Die Hard Eddie Edwards. And wait a minute.
That wasn't a bad approach. Try and get an advantage.
Yeah, we can forget about the tail of the tape or the code of honor because Brutal Bob is going right after him.
And he's a grizzled old veteran. Let's not take anything away from him. I just don't think he can compete with a world-class athlete. You've got to remember, Bob hasn't wrestled for a long time.
Well, he certainly hasn't. And of course, Brutal Bob Evans, known notoriously within the industry for these rough and rugged, just downright nasty training camps that he runs. That's where the Prodigy came from. Years ago, he made overtures to have Die Hard Eddie Edwards be one of his trainees. And Edwards said, no dice, pal. I don't want any of your kind. And Evans never forgot it. Closing the distance in quickly is Eddie Edwards. So we are on the eve of Best in the World. It's this weekend in New York City. Be a part of the action live at the Hammerstein Ballroom or check it out on pay-per-view. Go to Ring of Honor Wrestling's website, ROHWrestling.com. Did Bob just run through Edwards with a shoulder block? My goodness.
I don't know if it caught on the camera there, but there was a distraction by Bennett on the outside. That gave Bob the advantage, and he took it. Give him his dues. Interesting trunks he's wearing there. If he used to be a swimmer.
Certainly did. A very old school approach, very old school attire. And he kind of looks like Baron von Raschke in there.
I was going for Iron Mike Sharp. Both big guys.
They certainly were.
It's definitely a throwback to a different generation.
Well, he's crusty. He's a nasty old cuss. That's what people who have competed against him say. He was trained in brutal confines 20 years ago. Competed in over 1,000 matches, and he said it was near 7,500 days, I think he said, since his first big match in his career.
Right.
He said it was 7,397 days. What kind of guy keeps track of something like that?
Right, he's definitely, like I said, he's got an axe to grind. He's a bitter old man because he didn't make it in the wrestling business, so he's trying to take it out on young guys who are doing very well for themselves.
He's lived vicariously through the Prodigy and all of his successes. Of course, the lovely Maria Kanellis, the First Lady of ROH, now a constant companion for Bennett as well. And they have had a great recipe for success. But Bennett is kind of on the outside looking into the world title picture right now. Of course, that will get great clarity coming up at Best in the World. It's Richards versus Kevin Steen. Sunset Flip. Brutal Bob's shoulders are down, but look at the innovative way that Brutal Bob is able to switch.
Very nice.
Turn peril into opportunity.
A lot of times you'll see that with old school wrestlers that just learn the basics, learn how to get out of holds, into holds with such ease. We saw it with Finley back there in Toronto, and hopefully we'll see it again in New York City.
Look out Pittsburgh as well, because we're coming your way on June 30th. We honor the legend Bruno Sammartino, plus Roderick Strong, world title opportunity. Will he face Davey Richards or Kevin Steen? That will be settled at Best in the World. But Pittsburgh comes alive on the 30th.
Shades of Kenta Kobashi in the corner there.
And multiple shades of red is Brutal Bob's chest, courtesy of Die Hard.
Whoa.
The Hurricane Rana there nearly turned Evans right on his skull. And for a foul, obnoxious old crusty veteran, he certainly fought with some guts here. But now the missile dropkick scores 2.
Look at Evans' chest, nearly turned into a mash of hamburger by those vicious chops.
And despite the fact that the Prodigy has been at ringside the entire time, he has not been a real factor in this one, albeit one distractionary effort early on. Where is Edwards going? Brutal Bob trying to figure it out. Now creating some distance.
Oh, so dangerous! Did you see that?
Landed right on top of Evans.
And if you saw his feet, they were inches away from the top of the guardrail. That could have broken his ankle, and so close to Best in the World.
You see the scars on the back there of Die Hard Eddie Edwards. That was courtesy of Brutal Bob Evans in the first ever encounter between the Prodigy and Edwards here on television. Now, double stomp, no. Going for another big shoulder block, but into the Achilles lock.
Into the Achilles lock, Bennett up.
Look at Bennett now, he's up on the apron. Roll up, wait a minute, rolls through. Backslide, shoulders down, 2, got it!
There you go.
The winner of the match, Die Hard, Eddie Edwards!
Watch out from behind! Bennett pounding away on Die Hard.
Well, there's no need for this. There's strengths in numbers. I don't like Eddie's chances out there.
Just stomping away now. Edwards had come to the assistance recently of others.
Wait, who's that? What is that? That is?
What?
Homicide!
It's Homicide! Homicide is here!
The gangster from the Rotten Apple!
He faces Eddie Edwards at best in the world, but Homicide is here now! Oh, yeah! Homicide giving it to both Brutal Bob and the Prodigy! Homicide shocking everybody by coming to the aid of the man he will face next Sunday at Best in the World. Homicide!
Well, a Ring of Honor legend wanted to do it the right way.
Homicide back in Ring of Honor, coming to the aid of diehard Eddie Edwards, and I'm sure that that's the last person that Edwards ever thought he would see.
Eddie, you want to help Holmes?
There you go.
Great respect there. Homicide, former world champion, facing off against Edwards next Sunday at Best in the World. Calling for the code of honor, and this is a great moment. This is a great moment. So these two men will face off next Sunday at Best in the World. The Die Hard Challenge Series continues. Wait a... What the... No!
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 Eddie!
Oh, the Ringo cover! My God! Eddie Edwards has just been crumpled in half!
I don't believe it. Dropped him right on the top of his head.
What is this? We have got to try to straighten this situation out. Fans, we'll be back. Stay with us. Well, fans, welcome back to Ring of Honor Wrestling, and we are still in a state of shock after what we just saw. Moments after a victory over Brutal Bob, Eddie Edwards found himself deep in the grips of a 2-on-1 situation when out of nowhere, Homicide returned to Ring of Honor.
Looked like he was here to help out Eddie.
Yeah, but was he here to help out Eddie Edwards? Of course, he faces Edwards this Sunday at Best in the World when things look like it was going to be an exchange of handshakes between former world champions. He blasts him in the midsection. And then from there, Nigel, really, could he have gone any further? I don't know.
Such a dangerous move. No way of protecting yourself. That can break a neck. Simple as that.
So as you could see, a very, very dangerous situation, and you have to wonder how this is going to affect their matchup this Sunday at Best in the World.
Certainly is. But for now, we're going to take a very interesting look at the triple threat match at Best in the World and the reason it was signed.
We're in the money. We're in the money. Do 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 do.
There's been speculation for weeks that there's been collusion between Truth Martini and the embassy. Truth paid Nana $70,000 for Rhino's contract. Ever since then, there's been rumors swirling. Some say that Nana and the barrister have kept Tommaso Ciampa away from the TV title and Roderick Strong to make Truth happy.
Suspicion. It's not rooted in truth, but in jealousy.
Well, what I would like to clarify with the people...
My client has no comment at this time.
I am insulted that I'm being accused of impropriety.
Most people want to know why...
My client has no recollection of the aforementioned events.
You told me this was taken care of.
Speculation is that Roddy knows a little about it.
The X-Day is in.
But Ciampa knows nothing.
We advised Mr. Ciampa to pursue another course than the TV title, but he's got a very rigid philosophy as to what he wants.
Ciampa's been making demands that Nana and the barrister can't control, and that's putting a wrench in their plans.
I would like to tell the truth.
I have to be the hearing in a moment, and I have the car keys.
Come on now, this is ridiculous. Everybody's talking about conspiracy theory to this with non-truth with the managers.
Beta Scott, it's going to be a tremendous wrestling contest.
The triple threat should be an excellent sporting contest.
We'll be looking forward to it.
No further comment at this time.
Come on, Ryan.
You mean you can't look at non-truth and tell that these guys are crooked? Are you guys serious? I'm not worried about managers. I'm worried about Roderick Strong and Tommaso Ciampa. And you know, these two guys, they don't like me very much, but they don't like each other either.
A wise man knows when to comment and when to remain silent.
Tell him to get ready, because Jay Lethal's coming for what's rightfully his, and I'm taking it. And if you ask Truth Martini, he'll tell you that even that's the truth.
Well, one thing is for sure. Only one man can win at Best in the World. Only one man can be the television champion.
Absolutely. Tonight's main event, we've got two guys that want to be best in the world, and they've got the same problem. It's Davey Richards, Kyle O'Reilly against Kevin Steen and Jimmy Jacobs. But up next, we're going to see Jay Lethal in action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We're back on Ring of Honor. A little splash of color on the program. The psychedelic superstar, Chris Silvio. He's a different kind of cat, Nigel.
Yes, he is, but he's about to take on a different kind of cat in Jay Lethal, who's ready this weekend to beat either Tommaso Ciampa or Roderick Strong and regain the TV title.
This match is set for one fall. Introducing first, wrestling out of San Francisco, California, weighing 204 pounds, psychedelic superstar, Chris Silvio.
A little bit of Austin Idol, a little bit of superstar Billy Graham, but he's facing a man that's looking to become a whole lot of television champion. Can Jay Lethal become the TV champion for the second time? We know that Lethal goes into New York City after ending the unbeaten streak of Tommaso Ciampa, but also looking for an opportunity to get his hands on Roderick Strong. It's Ciampa, Lethal, and Strong in a three-way for the TV title at Best in the World.
His opponent, wrestling out of Tampa, Florida, weighing 215 pounds, Jay Lethal!
And three ways, Kev, so dangerous because you have to beat two guys to win. Everybody loses, apart from the fans.
Let's go to the tail of the tape, where you can see Jay Lethal with a slight size advantage, Silvio a year older, but experience by far to Lethal. As Silvio says, the code of honor is not his bag, man. So it will certainly be an unorthodox competitor here that Jay Lethal will take on. And Silvio's one of those guys who can find a way to annoy you, can find a way to distract you long enough to find a way to beat you.
Good point. Gets inside your head without a doubt. Reminds me of a cat weasel for anybody who's familiar with our British wrestling game.
Certainly is. And we'll see now if Lethal can make a statement here and head to New York, because Best in the World is right upon us. All the talk about the big event, just go to ROHWrestling.com as Silvio ducks underneath. Lethal catches him coming in.
Lethal, really the consummate professional wrestler.
Cover.
Been at it for so long now. You know, was a protege of Samoa Joe back in the day. Learned so much from Joe. Wrestled all over the world. It's like second nature to this guy.
His family, great supporters. I know they will be there in New York at Best in the World. It's always great to see Mr. and Mrs. Lethal. Nice drop kick there. As Silvio bounces out the apron, we understand. Wait a minute, what is Jay Lethal doing? Get an update here on Eddie Edwards coming up in just a second. Baseball slide, but Silvio out of the way. Psychedelic superstar misses with the clothesline. Big overhand right. Knife edge chop there from Jay Lethal. We understand Eddie Edwards being evaluated by medical personnel. Wait a minute, what is this? Prince Nana and the barrister R.D. Evans are out here, Nigel. Just to finish up my point about Edwards being evaluated by medical personnel, but plans on being there in New York. Jay Lethal just got skulled in the apron, or rather in the ring post.
Well, I didn't see, I don't know if he saw Nana and Evans coming out, whether that was a distraction that gave Silvio the advantage or not, I don't know. You know, Silvio's flamboyant, he's extravagant, but he's very able as well. People don't give him the credit he deserves.
Yeah, well, he just abled Jay Lethal's head right into the ring post. Nana and the barrister out here. Looks like barrister. What is that? Flashing a wad of cash. You better watch it. What is Silvio doing now? This match is not going Jay Lethal's way, ladies and gentlemen. This is not what Lethal wants on the eve of Best in the World, but he's got it. Now right back to the top of Lethal's skull, which is probably lumpy and bruised. Could have gotten concussion before.
Silvio having a good showing for himself.
2.
Keeping the aggression on, I like it.
Of course, Nana and R.D. Evans are down here because, wait a minute, Truth Martini's here. What is this?
Wow, put his arm right around him.
It's like 3 old friends at a summer barbecue. These guys, you gotta believe, Nigel, these 3 are plotting against Jay Lethal, right?
Well, there's something going on, definitely.
Well, they have mutual interest, and that's seeing Jay Lethal not become the next television champion.
You know what they say, birds of a feather flock together.
We'll be in Pittsburgh next Saturday. Get to beat Bruno Sammartino. 7 big matches. Don't forget about Milwaukee on July 14th. Chris Silvio walks to the top. Zen-like leg drop.
Nice.
Cover 2, and Lethal kicks out. The plotting and collusionary efforts of Truth Martini and Prince Nana continue. You know, think about how Tommaso Ciampa, how he reacted.
I wonder how he feels about these 3 guys being out there glad-handing.
And what do you think Roderick Strong thinks about that as well? I mean, we saw the reaction of Tommaso when Prince Nana got him disqualified, cost him the television title. Whether on purpose or not, now Lethal's back on his feet. Silvio going for the front face lock again. This time Lethal powers his way out of it. Lethal introduces the boot and the clothesline, and wait a minute. Look who's just down here at ringside.
Yeah, we mentioned him before, Ciampa out there.
He's wearing one of Lethal's shirts.
What is going on in his head?
Listen. It is all falling apart for Tommaso Ciampa as we try to hear some of his words. But Jay Lethal with the big handspring elbow knocking down Chris Silvio.
Sign a professional there, Lethal, ignoring the hub on the outside, and he's getting the job done up to the top rope to beat Silvio.
No chance to land Hail to the King because Silvio got at his feet. Just blasts away on Lethal, misses with the clothesline, hands break. Lethal injection!
There it is, surely!
1, 2, and 3.
The winner of the match, Jay Lethal!
So Jay Lethal wins despite the fact, oh wait a minute, Martini just got shoved down by Ciampa. Look out from behind, here comes Roderick Strong. And now they're going toe-to-toe, Nigel.
Well, look, we knew this could break down at any point. That's exactly what he's doing. Roddy in the ring.
Roddy rolling into the ring for perhaps safety, but Lethal's here to greet him. And now, these 2 old foes are going to throw toe-to-toe.
Fisticuffs, everybody's throwing. Left, right, all over the place. Turner in the ring. Nana, other referees, this is breaking down.
Anybody in the sound of my voice with a striped shirt, get down here and separate these three. It's an explosive scene on the eve of Best in the World. We have got to try to calm things down, fans. We'll be right back. Will the ROH hostage crisis come to an end this weekend? We've got the final word tonight inside Ring of Honor. Best in the World 2012 Hostage Crisis takes place Sunday, June 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern at the Manhattan Center's Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. If you can't be there live, you can see it live as it happens on ROHWrestling.com. Log on now for all the details. For the World Tag Team Championship, the All Night Express challenges wrestling's greatest tag team. For the World Television Championship, it's a triple threat match. Roderick Strong versus Jay Lethal and Tommaso Ciampa. And the Briscoe brothers face Truth Martini's mystery team. He is referred to only as his Guardians of Truth.
At Best in the World, the best tag team will prevail. The Briscoe brothers, you have accepted the challenge against my team. Now this team that I'm talking about, I cannot even mention their names because they are the most feared team in all of professional wrestling. You mention their name and grown men, they run for cover. Briscoe brothers, now I hate you. But at this point, I actually feel sorry for you because what's going to happen to you two boys, I will not wish that on my worst enemies. Briscoe brothers, prepare to meet the Guardians of Truth.
So Truth Martini got a big surprise mystery team in New York City. Truth Martini, you Willy Wonka looking like the leprechaun on Lucky Charms, Fruit Loop, queered in a $3 bill. Calm down, Jake, calm down. Let me tell you something, Truth Martini, we really don't give a damn who it is. You can bring them out, the Guardians of Truth. We ain't scared, Truth. I don't care if it's Jay Clampett and Jeff Robodine. Hey, New York City, bottom line, Truth Martini, New York City, we gonna whoop us some ass, boy. You can bring whoever. We gonna be there.
You'll also see Unbreakable Michael Elgin versus the Belfast Bruiser Fit Finlay. A die-hard challenge match with Eddie Edwards facing Homicide. The Prodigy Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis will be in the Big Apple for a live Prodigy service announcement. In a hybrid fighting rules match, Kyle O'Reilly takes on Adam Cole. And of course, in the main event, it will be for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Kevin Steen defending against former champion Davey Richards in what Jim Cornette has promised will be Richards' last chance at the title. And he has finally ruled at the last minute the pile driver will be legal one more time.
So Davey Richards wants the pile driver legal at his rematch of Best in the World because he doesn't want any excuses, and also because he's got too much honor. And Kevin Steen, he wants the pile driver legal at Best in the World because that fat bastard wants any advantage he can get. The fans, they want the pile driver legal because they like anarchy and chaos and bloodletting. Corporate is on my ass because they don't want the pile driver, because they don't want to get sued and they don't want to be liable when somebody gets paralyzed or has their neck broken. And whatever I do and whatever decision I make, I'm going to lose. So let me just say this. You guys want it, you got it. Fair fight, everything's even. Throw it all out the window. Pile driver is legal at Best in the World on the rematch. And let me just guarantee you one thing, Kevin Steen. No matter what happens, I promise you, I swear to you, you will not be Ring of Honor World Champion by the time that affiliates meeting rolls around in September, because I'm not going to be embarrassed and I'm not going to see this company go down. And if Davey Richards can't beat you and take that title off you at Best in the World, I'll find somebody that can.
Tonight on the eve of Best in the World, Steen and Jacobs will face Richards and O'Reilly in a tag team match. The new champ and the Zombie Princess are ready for anything.
Kyle O'Reilly and Davey Richards, they want revenge. They want payback tonight on Ring of Honor TV. They think they can do that. But the people, the fans in Toronto, they were smarter. They started chanting, "You can't beat him. You can't beat him.
He couldn't beat me.
Because Davey can't beat you. Not on Ring of Honor TV tonight, not ever."
No, what's going to happen tonight on Ring of Honor TV is the same thing that happened in Toronto. Davey's just going to let Jim Cornette down. Kyle O'Reilly's not going to be able to do much about it. But you know what's unfortunate is I really wish I could defend this belt more often. Like, because, you know, let's be honest. Davey didn't exactly defend the belt too many times. And now I'm on Ring of Honor TV, but in a tag match. But you know what? That's okay because New York City's this weekend. Best in the World 2012. Hostage crisis. Because of me and this. Hostage. Yeah. Me and Davey Richards one more time. Davey Richards' last shot of the Ring of Honor title.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Jim must be mad at him if he made, right? You know, for 6 months, Jim, you've been putting me in no DQs and street fights, and you were hoping somebody would injure me enough to keep me out for good. And when that didn't happen, you put me in a straight-up wrestling match against Davey Richards, and I still beat him. So now we're back to anything goes. We're back in New York City. But the thing is, the pile driver is legal again. So the end result for you, Jim, is going to be the exact same.
Best in the World 2012 Hostage Crisis is this weekend. If you can't be there live, see it live as it happens on ROHWrestling.com. And we'll see you right here next week inside Ring of Honor.
Veda Scott here in the locker room with Davey Richards and Kyle O'Reilly, and this is a huge weekend for you.
Let me tell you what we're gonna do.
Oh, man, would you shut up with that? Move. Let me tell you something, Kyle. I'm so sick of you talking. So everyone does right now is they talk. We're not about talk. This team is not about talking. It's about doing. Since the day we started. All you bitch about is Adam Cole. Hey, man, it's over. It's done. Okay, you feel bad about Toronto. I lost. I got my ass kicked. Ain't the first time. Ain't gonna be the last time. You want to make it up to me? You want to do something about it? Instead of talk about it? Stand up and let's fight. I know what kind of person you are, man. The same guy that came down. The same guy that trained every single day. That's my partner. That's Kyle O'Reilly. That's Team Ambition. Let's do this, man. Kevin Steen, Jimmy Jacobs, let's beat those boys' asses. Make sure they never forget what Team Ambition is all about. Let's do it.
Well, some people are saying about time to Davey Richards telling Kyle O'Reilly to, in effect, act like a man, not a boy. Shut up and wrestle. Hey, we know Richards is a private guy. He doesn't want to air his Cam's dirty laundry in public, but a lot of fans were calling on him to say it.
And it came at a good time. This is a dangerous situation.
Well, we have been joined at the request of the world champion Kevin Steen by Steve Carino. Well, of course, indeed, our broadcast colleagues.
Much better. Show some respect, Kevin.
We have all the respect in the world, Steve, for all of your accomplishments, and we just ask that as Steen and Jacobs make their way to the ring, impartiality, please.
You too.
I love their music. Richards and O'Reilly, they've come for a fight in this one. And if he can win the title back in New York, Davey will have saved his face with Ring of Honor. But to whip these two guys in a fight here, that'll vindicate Davey personally.
And remember, in Inside Ring of Honor, we heard Cornette say the pile driver would be legal one more time at Best in the World. So that means Steen is barred from using it here.
It should be legal 100% of the time, so you guys should agree with me.
This is your television main event. It is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first to my right, first wrestling out of St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 207 pounds, Kyle O'Reilly. His partner, wrestling out of Othello, Washington, weighing 208 pounds, American Wolf, Davey Richards. Their opponents to my left, first wrestling out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, weighing 181 pounds, Jimmy Jacobs. His partner, wrestling out of Maryville, Quebec, Canada, weighing 264 pounds, he is the new Ring of Honor World Champion.
Watch out, Bobby Cruz. Too much tension, too much hatred. Steen and Richards couldn't wait for the bell. Couldn't wait even for the tail of the tape.
Real honorable, Kevin, huh? This should be a great night. I'm very happy. I came off a little grumpy 2 weeks ago, but let's face it, it's time to live. It's time to enjoy what we're seeing right now. Jimmy Jacobs and the ROH World Champion Kevin Steen.
Well, let's face facts, Steve. At best in the world, Steen has bullied his way into getting everything that he wants. Anything goes. One fall to a finish, and the package pile driver is legal.
How is that bullying? That's called showing your power. When you're the world champion, you have power. Look at what Davey Richards did for almost a year. Look what Eddie Edwards did. Look what Roderick Strong did. The countless others. When you have the championship, you have the power.
Look at this. They must think this is an anything goes match. Jimmy Jacobs biting on the nose there. That's the way these guys like it. And you've got to call it the way you see it. Kevin Steen making it anything goes match has to be in his favor.
Oh, definitely. This guy is so dangerous in just a regular match. Oh, I could separate his shoulder.
Think about what Kevin Steen, the words he used recently mocking Jim Cornette, saying he would be at all the events. Most importantly, the affiliates dinner, which is the most important night in Jim Cornette's calendar on a corporate side. Steen will be, this is exactly what we said. Wrestling's worst nightmare, now he's Jim Cornette's nightmare, and he's Ring of Honor's nightmare.
I think you have it all wrong. He wants to be the guy that's the #1 guy. He wants to be the guy that's going to go to the affiliates dinner.
But what's Kevin Steen going to say when he's in front of sponsors at the sponsors bash?
He's just going to tell the truth. Hey, I can't blame him.
And Steen is going to be there to represent the company at the Health and Fitness Expo?
Why not? Look at him. He's the world champion, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he is the world champion, but he's not going to win any contest for best abs. Maybe most abs.
Let me ask you a question.
Why is that a big deal, Nigel?
Why is that a big deal? Because this is a business.
Wait a minute. What's he going to do out here on the floor? Better not even think about that package pile driver.
Unfair. Nigel, let me
ask you a question. How does it make you feel to know that Cornette has basically barred you from commentary ringside at Best in the World?
I think it's unfair. You don't want to hear what I have to say.
He says he'll physically remove you if you dare show up.
I dare him. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Come on, Jim, be a man. Be a man and stand up to me. I'm not going to back down. You're not going to make me a millionaire by slapping me in the face. Do what you got to do, Jim.
Look at
Davey.
Right here. Double stomp right into the midsection of Kevin Steen. The champion's shoulders are down, but quickly into the ankle lock.
I think that's you. Let's talk about corporate there. You have one of your top guys just threatening me. I'm a broadcast journalist, an advisor, a professional wrestler. Come on, Nigel, you should be on my side about this.
I have to agree with you that one.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to call it the way I see it.
Oh, well, wait a minute now. Kyle O'Reilly spins things around with Jimmy Jacobs and sends him careening into the barricade. Oh! Pop-up power bomb. He could have broken his back.
That is the face of Ring of Honor right there, Kevin Steen.
This match is out of control. It has been a fight. We have one more commercial break. Fans will be back in 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at Ring of Honor Wrestling. It's Carnage and Chaos, our tag team main event with Kevin Steen and Jimmy Jacobs against Davey Richards and Kyle O'Reilly. Bodies flying all over the Dewbirds. Steve Corino is here at the color commentary position along with myself and Nigel McGuinness.
I'm here because I'm your third broadcast partner. Why don't you guys get that?
I get it. I understand.
I invite Nigel to the DVD tapings all the time. He just says no.
All right, now, so Steve, you've got to be feeling good because Steen and Jacobs have done everything they've wanted to do here.
Absolutely. We have a plan. We have a plan, and we're executing it.
Yes, you are. I'm not sure if I really understand your involvement, though, here. I mean, this wasn't a ruse all along. Basically, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you just understood that evil's the way to go?
Yeah, it's time to live. It's time to be evil. I was tired of sitting on the sidelines. I've been starving, Nigel. I've been starving.
I do have to say, you seem to be much happier than you had been, which to me, I don't understand, but it really seems to have opened you up.
Kevin, the last few weeks have opened up my mind and my heart. I'm finally home. I finally saw the light, and the light is Kevin Steen.
Well, they're pouring the pressure on Kyle O'Reilly because Davey Richards has basically been taken out of this fight by Steen and Jacobs and everything that they did on the outside and continuing to stomp away. There you see Richards sent to the floor once again.
It's only going to get worse at Best in the World.
So Steen and Jacobs have isolated Kyle O'Reilly.
Davey's such a passionate guy, really believes so heartily in his vision of what Ring of Honor is.
That's a shame. Some people believe in Santa Claus, too.
You're likening the history of Ring of Honor to Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the same title lineage that Nigel has. I mean, come on, Steve.
Yeah, it's a new era. You know, I'm not going to take anything away from Nigel's reign. It was amazing. It was great.
Ooh! Crushing senton right there.
But you can't compare apples and oranges when it comes to Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen is different than anything we've seen in the last 10 years.
Cover two. Richards could only look from the outside, but Kyle O'Reilly found a way to kick out. And look at this. Steen grabbing him by his ears and pulling the young man from St. Louis back to his feet.
Legal. Look at that.
Maintaining grip of the tag rope. A legal tag.
I didn't understand it at first. I'll be honest. I didn't understand Jimmy Jacobs' turn. I didn't understand what Kevin Steen would text, email, call me about. But now I see it. I wish you guys would too. It'd be so much easier.
The skirt of the zombie princess is over the head of Kyle O'Reilly as he pounds away, standing on the ropes.
You talk about the zombie princess and Kevin Steen being unstable. But wait a second.
Roll up, two!
But they're functioning very well as a team here. Every time Davey tries to get in, they knock him back down to the floor. It's classic tag team wrestling, Steve. You've got to call it the way you see it.
Absolutely. It's not being unstable. We know what we're doing.
Oh, there you go.
Richards finally back in. Double clothesline.
Oh. He'd had enough. He wasn't going to wait outside any longer.
Richards from corner to corner, taking out all of his aggression here on both Kevin Steen and Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah, but can he bring that aggression to Best in the World?
You bet your pie.
I see something different in Davey. I see a little bit of fear, maybe.
Richards blocked that kick coming in.
Uh-oh.
Waistlock.
Oh!
German. Steen back on his feet. Richards knocks him down. 1, 2. Quickly into the ankle lock.
We want to talk about a move that should be banned, Nigel and Kevin. It's this ankle lock. This could not only break an ankle, but this could tear tendons. This could end a man's career.
Well, it's anything goes. It's all legal. Now the guillotine there. It's all legal at Best in the World, including the package pile driver. One fall to a finish, no DQ for the world title. O'Reilly in to break up the submission hold of Jimmy Jacobs. O'Reilly caught coming in. Wait a minute, though.
This kid's talented.
Got a lot of heart and guts. Jacobs tough in his own right regard. His history and lineage in Ring of Honor speaks for itself. Watch out. Oh, my God!
Oh! Did you see that?
That's your world champion over the top rope. Hey, let's talk about those abs again, Nigel.
Well,
I think Kevin Steen may have done just as much damage to himself as he did to the three men that he landed on.
That's the dedication to the sport and a dedication to the fans.
He managed to get those abs over the top rope. He nearly knocked himself out on the apron as he came down.
One thing I failed to mention is that ever since early on in this matchup, we actually had two outside officials. Two outside officials have come down to help maintain order, ladies and gentlemen. That's how heated this is. That's how much this means.
Oh! Exploder suplex on the apron. A huge mistake. Kevin Steen rolled into the ring instead of out, putting himself right in harm's way. Well, thankfully for him, Jimmy Jacobs on the outside here, interjecting himself.
Bobby Cruz and our timekeeper hightailing it out of there when they thought they were landing on top of him.
Right in front of the referee here. I don't know if
maybe Todd didn't see it.
Now up on the shoulders of Steen. Back to the guillotine goes Jacobs, cutting O'Reilly off at the pass.
End time, he's in nice and deep with it, got the hands hooked.
So the end time. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my God.
On top of the chair, on top of the table, excuse me.
Down right on top of the timekeeper's table. Steen's body bent in half. Richards is out of it on the floor.
Jacobs now on again the end time, but he's holding on the top rope. He hasn't got all of it.
Oh! Sinclair's seen enough. Todd Sinclair calling for the bell.
This is unbelievable action. I don't understand why the bell's been called.
And now Steen and Richards. Toe-to-toe.
Wait a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Referee Todd Sinclair has thrown the match out. He rules it a no contest.
He just hit an official. He should be suspended, maybe even terminated. Cornette, you want to stand up and be a man? Be a man against Davey Richards.
Well, there'll be no stopping the match at Best in the World. And now our security team is down here.
There shouldn't be a world title match at Best in the World. He should be gone. Go do that somewhere else, Davey Richards. Oh, you're real honorable. Real honorable.
And I don't agree with hitting a referee, but I think the match was over. That's why he's able to continue on this one. Sinclair, very dangerous, being that close to a man as rabid, furious.
These guys are going to be fighting all the way up 95 as they make their way to New York City and the Hammerstein Ballroom for Best in the World.
I'm filing an official protest against Davey Richards as soon as we get to the back.
Yeah, well, guess what? Richards could be the next Ring of Honor World Champion.
Not if I have anything to do with it, Kevin.
Locker room emptying now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about out of time. Look at the scene here in the Dubern's Arena. It's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. We will see you at Best in the World.